here is my little Pikachu from last time, right? His colors are wrong right now because I was playing with the colors, but that's fine. So this is not really generative art, right? Because it always draws the same thing. And a big part of generative art is that there is some randomness in there, and that you can run it multiple times and get different results. So I want to include some randomness. So the first thing I want to do is import random. Okay, so I've imported that. It's gray because I've imported it, but I'm not using it, so that's okay. Now, what I want to do is I'm thinking about my draw sprite thing here, right? So what if instead of always printing grid 1, 2, 3, and 4 like this, what if instead it just randomly decided which grid to print, right? And we can get these like weird, bizarre patterns of parts of Pikachu. It's a little weird, but that's okay. All right, so what I need to do is I need to have it randomly decide which grid to use, right? There's a couple ways that we could do this, but the simplest way is to do a choice, right? So you remember when we did random.choice, okay? And then in there, we can put in something it's going to choose from, an array that it's going to choose from. Now, we can't do like grid 1, 2, 3, or 4, right? Because then which one is it going to choose? What we need to do is we need to make a new array. So I'm going to make a new array called grids. All right, I'm going to put it up here with the other ones. Grids. And here, I'm just going to put the name of each grid I've already created. And if I recall how this works correctly from whenever I last played with this, it should randomly just decide one of these 4 from there, right? So this array, this variable that we've created that is an array, is going to contain the other 2-dimensional arrays. We've basically just created a 3-dimensional array here, right? It is an array of arrays that have arrays in them. An array of arrays that has arrays in them. An array of arrays that has arrays with arrays in them, right? It's 3 dimensions, right? Like, it gets a little complicated, but it's fine. All right. So now if this works, I should be able to just copy and paste this for each one. All right, I think that's correct. Did I mess something up? I did mess something up. What did I just do? Ah, I did too much. All right. So that worked. So we can try it again. Notice that these two happen to be the same, and so did these two. That was just random chance. Although notice the cheek color is different. So next thing that I notice is that the turtle, it goes a little slow. So I'm going to try to make this faster by doing turtle.speed, and I want 0. So I can run this again. It should be faster, and we should get a different combination. There we go. He is definitely faster. And the combination is different. Just slightly wrong, right? But there's different things that we can do with this. So hopefully you're getting the idea of sort of how we can play with this. Now, this really is only still 4 sprites that it's just randomly deciding which ones to repeat. And so we might want to do something more interesting where maybe it chooses more than just 4, right? Or maybe we do something interesting with the locations that it chooses, right? So maybe I do, maybe this is random, negative random times, what was it, 168? Is that what that was? I think so. And then this could be random times 168. It was 21 times 8. Yeah, 168. Okay. And then both of these should be positive, I think. And then one of these should be positive, and one of these should be negative. And then we need 2 negative ones, right? That will get us all 4 quadrants, I think. Yeah, we can see what happens. Oh, I just said random. Dot random, right? Remember, you gotta You gotta do that correctly. Alright. So, paste, paste. Oh, this is getting a little long, but that's okay. And it's going to kind of randomly put them in odd spots, sometimes overlapping apparently, right? And so this is how you can start to create some like weird generative art and stuff, right? And maybe I want him to do this, maybe I want my little turtle to do this 8 times instead of just 4, so that way we get more random combinations. Let me make this a little bit larger so we can see more. Not one Pikachu head. Right, but you get the idea. So this is where you can start to do some weird things, right? You can start to play and try things out and see what happens. My other thought is, let me go back to where it was before. And instead of having random grids that it's creating from, I'm going to have random palettes that it will create from instead. So I could do palettes, and that could equal, yeah, those. Alright, and then here, this could all be grid 1, right? Because then we can kind of get this idea of like a like an Andy Warhol type thing, right? So then here we could say random dot random, or was it random? No, it was choice. It was choice. All right, and then in here we need this to be palettes. Okay. And then what I need to do is I actually need to like choose, like add some more palettes in there, right? So then here, up here, I'm going to create a couple more palettes. Alright. So black and blue and green, yellow. Just throw random colors in there. Grebe, that's a good color. I need some purples. Now what's kind of cool too is when you highlight it, it will show you how many other instances there are of that same color. And you can kind of use that to be like, oh, I need to balance things out a little bit. Like I've got a lot of oranges still. How many pinks do I have? I've got a good amount of pinks. I've got a good amount of browns. I don't have very much green. What about purple? I don't think I have much purple yet. No, I definitely don't have much purple. Okay, I think that's decent. Right, now I need to rename all of these, right? Because otherwise I'm just overwriting them again and again. 9, 10. Alright, so I've got 10 palettes. Why are you blue? That's weird. I'm just gonna hope that that's not a problem. I don't see any reason why that is blue. So colors 3. And actually what I'm gonna do, oh yeah, hey, come back. Come back. There we go. Nice. Alright. So if that worked correctly, and then I'm also gonna add back in my turtle speed 0, because that was nice when he went that fast. Alright. Unterminated string literal. Ah, okay, that's why it was angry probably. There it is. I accidentally added an extra quotation mark there, right? And that messed up all the rest. There we go. Wow, they're all orange. What are the odds of that? And they're all brown. Did you really randomly choose stuff? don't know if I believe you. Oh, I do want to add this to here, so that way it also actually uses that first color, because we were just treating it as transparent, right? There we go. That's a little bit more Andy Warhol-like, right? Okay, now we're getting some weird stuff. So that first one was just random chance. I don't know if I like the white. I don't think I do. I think I'm gonna get rid of the white from there, but I will put white in other spots. Oh, I got 2 browns in a row. That's fine. That's fine. I don't really entirely mind that. It is interesting that it does seem to be choosing a good number of them like twice in a row, but random chance. So you can play with this a little bit. One of the things about generative art when you do this is you won't always like every result. So when it comes to like making generative art, what you do is you make a whole bunch of them and then you choose your favorite ones. So like let's say that you're gonna do a selection, or you're gonna do a presentation where you've got like 10 pieces of generative art. You're gonna run it like, I don't know, 30, 40 times, and you'll choose like your favorite 10. Right? That's typically how that works. So I probably wouldn't choose this one because I don't like that it repeats those twice. Now, there are some people that try to make sure that every single result of a piece of generative art always looks good, especially if it's like one online, like on the internet, where it randomly generates it for the user or for whoever's viewing it. And you can do that. It does require a little bit of extra coding that we're not going to talk about right now. But that is a technique as well. But there are a good number of artists who are expecting that it will generate some stuff that they don't like, that they, consider not good, and then they will just not use those ones, right? They will curate the results. So there you go. I made a little Andy Warhol Pikachu generative art program. So you can play with that. You can try that out some, and then we'll look at a few more things, experiment some more, and try out some other stuff.